So how do you feel reaching at the final door of 5 doorways to photography? I am really thankful to you for being with me in this journey, and I hope it was useful to you and that you are enjoying playing with different doors now. And let's proceed to the fifth door. I am Prashant Rana. I am a documentary photographer. I am also the inventor of a photography card game called Exposed. We will talk about that later. And let's get on with our fifth door, the final one of this course. We have already explained why we need different doors in photography, because everyone is different and we connect with photos in our own unique way. So everybody enters into the visual world of photography through different doors. So today we are going to explore the door 5, which is composition. So many photographers talk about composition. They have given different ideas, but basically it is about how to use the space between the 4 corners of your image, to use that space in the most efficient way. And how a photographer uses that space is what distinguishes between a beginner, a hobbyist, and an iconic photographer. I wouldn't even say professional, because so many times even professional photographers are not using the space really good or in the most efficient manner for their target audience. So in this case, let's use the word iconic. Once you learn to use the space in your photo well, you start to use everything, every element of photography in the best way possible. It doesn't matter what level of photography you are doing, what field of photography you are in, you need to manage space, because like light, a photographer cannot escape space. We have to use those 4 corners. You can be using landscape or portrait, or you can be using a square format, but you always have a space to manage in your image. So what are what is this space? This space is usually called positive space or negative space. Positive space is where there is the subject in your photo, where there is the activity, the movement, the element is the focus of the image. And negative space is the place which appears to be empty, where there is no visual stimulation. It appears that there is nothing. But there is one more concept that I would like to put forth for your consideration, is active image room. Now, active image room is not essentially a positive space or negative space. Active image room is where the photo is strongest and where the photo connects with the viewers in the deepest way. That is the active image room. Now, that active image room can be empty. It can have nothing but just deep, vast ocean, or just plain open sky. But that can be really active, full of emotional energy that we talked in symbolism, which has nothing to do with positive or negative image. It has only to do with the energy. So let's explore each idea. Many photographers have given different ways to manage space in photos. Some talk about rule of thirds, some talk about rule of odds, some go even beyond that, and they bring more complex ideas of visual narration in photos. But in each theory, in each rule, in each idea, there is no efficiency if you don't use the previously discussed element in the most efficient way. So you can use rule of thirds really good, but if your photo lacks good balance of colors or black and white, or if the shapes are not really helping the image, or the light is not really being used in the best possible way, the photo will become weak. And the rule of third or rule of odds will not help you make that photo strong. So a photo is the result of all the 5 elements that we are talking about, and each element is important to tell a visual story and turn a normal photo into an iconic photo. Rule of third is when we divide our frame into 3 equal parts horizontally and 3 equal parts vertically, and we try to put our subject or the important object in the photo in one of the intersections of these 9 parts, or one of the intersections of these 4 imaginary lines in the photo. It makes it easier to interpret, because we are designed as human beings to interpret everything in segments. So you will help your viewer to engage with the photo easily if you use the rule of third. So here you can see in the example that I divided the frame in 3 parts, and I put one important object on one third in the top, and the other important object at the bottom third in the frame. The similar way, rule of odds, because we are designed by evolution to pay attention to what seems odd, because that could be dangerous, that could be important. The nature use it by putting colors into fruit. Fruits usually are colorful because they want to attract the other animals to distribute their seed far away possible. The same way flowers are more attractive, and they are odd in appearance to the appearance of plants. So what is odd catches our eye. It can also be odd in numbers. You can see an example here that I deliberately tried to create an odd appearance of a person in front of that wall. The photo is not photoshopped. It is taken like that. If you want to know how, you can just get in touch with me and I will tell you how. Or maybe you already know. So these rules are just guidelines. They are not exactly rules. When you consciously use the space in photo, you can bend those rules easily, and you can create your own visual style, which is your signature style and your unique way of taking photos, and that's how it should be done. So you can break the rule of third by putting the energy in not on the lines, not on the intersections, but far away in the corners, and it will still work because you are breaking the rule consciously. You can break the rule of odds by putting even number subject in your photo, and still it works because you are using very well the lines, the colors, the light, and you don't have to follow that rule of odd for no purpose, to be honest. When you use the space consciously, you learn automatically how to manage the active image room. So what is active image room? Active image room is where the photo is strongest, where the lines are leading the eye, where the symbol is going to connect with the viewers, and that has nothing to do with negative or positive space. You simply use negative and positive space in the best possible way, in accordance to the colors and to the light available to you, to the lines and shapes available to you, and you infuse this emotional energy into your photo, and you simply connect with your viewers, in a strong way. Learning this is going to help you a lot how to improve your photography and how to manage the emotions of your viewers at the same time. This photo is for a project that I'm doing since 2017. It was important for the story to have a certain kind of agitation in the image, but at the same time not too much. So I tried to use complementary colors in the same photo and lead the eyes of the viewers through lines and try to bring a dominant color into the scene to where the eyes can relax, but at the same time use the blur and the agitation to create the sense of agitation that I want to create. In one photo you can use all the 5 elements that we are talking about: the management of space, the composition, the colors, the black and white, if the photo was black and white, the lines and the shapes and the light. Using everything helps you to create a stronger image. You can see here in art photography, I am using the lines and the light to lead the eye to where the impact can be strongest. That impact zone is the active image room. So try to use all the elements and lead the eyes to where you want the image to be most active in your photo. I'm constantly saying try to use it because your camera doesn't have brain. It relies upon your conscious decision making to create that photo. When you are conscious, you take away control from your camera and you put your own energy in that photo. In that moment, you are acquiring your personal style in visual narration, and you are connecting with that specific kind of audience which understand your narration. It's like not everybody can understand a scientific journal. Not everybody can understand poetry. People are designed differently, and that's why your unique style will bring you closer to your kind of audience, people who can appreciate your visual narration a little bit more. One more thing that I can suggest to you is start thinking about creating a photography project. The project doesn't necessarily have to be artistic or documentary or about an issue of importance. The project can be something as simple as chronicle narration of your day to start with. The project can be as complex as how you feel in your work environment. These are some suggestions, but when you think about creating a photography project, you start learning how photos talk to each other, and when you present those photos together, how they together start making their friends in their viewers. This is going to expand your horizon of photography and can be a good idea. So try thinking about that in your free time, and maybe you come up with an idea of creating a project. If you need guidance, you know where to find me, and I will leave my contact details in the end of this video, at the same time in the text presented in the page. So just reach out to me and we can book a session for you and find out how to create a photography project with your own idea and with your own visual style. So now we finish with the 5 doorways to photography. You know all the 5 elements now. You just need to combine them all. Maybe you are wondering how to use the camera that you have in order to combine your photography. Maybe you are not satisfied with the camera that you have, or maybe you want to reach to the maximum potential of your camera. Maybe you are shooting with mobile phones, maybe you are shooting with a DSLR, maybe you are shooting with a mirrorless camera. So I am going to leave one more module as a gift to you, which is going to talk about the keys. When I talk about keys, it's about the technical aspects of photography. To use all these 5 doorways, just proceed and pick up your keys to unlock these 5 doors. You can just find me on Instagram, you can just send me an email and book a session, and we can talk about those questions that you are having. We can talk about that project that you are thinking about. If you are still curious about the game, I can assure you that it's a game that brings joy to the beginners in photography. It brings learning to the amateurs and hobbyists, and it brings creative challenges to the professionals in the photography industry. Just go to Kickstarter and look for Exposed, the photography game. I'm also going to leave a link in the description of this video. You can also find us on Instagram with X_POS_D and send us your questions, or if you want to know more about the game. It's a game that has been played with over 200 participants in different workshops and different photography clubs all over the world. And we have noticed a considerable advancement in the visual perception of all the players right after the first game. So the game really works. If you want to know more, just shoot a message on Instagram and we will get back to you. I wait for you with the final module of this course, where we will talk about the keys that can be used to unlock all the 5 doors of photography. Until then, see you soon.